and this amendment proposed by Delegate Simon is to that item, but is not in conflict with which already has been adopted. It has been distributed, available on lines before the body.
Delegate from Caroline, Delegate Orrock.
Mr. Speaker, I move to pass by the amendment.
Delegate Orrock moves to pass by the amendment. Delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Simon, 2 minutes apiece.
Mr. Speaker, speaking to the amendment.
Delegate has the floor.
Mr. Speaker, this amendment would add $1 million to help us address a policy. We didn't add any waiver slots for people suffering from intellectual and developmental disabilities. Mr. Speaker, I've got a lot of constituents. You all have a lot of constituents with families with severely, profoundly disabled people who are waiting for the opportunity to acquire Medicaid services. And I don't think they would agree that doubling down on Trump's irresponsible tax scheme and sending this money back to people that benefit from those federal tax cuts, giving them another state tax break is more important than getting these people off of the waiting list, getting these severely disabled children and family members into services. And it's not a very big ask. I mean, we had a budget amendment, I think, in for far more slots and a much higher number. This is just a modest amount. This is just a token, really, $1 million, so that we can get some people off the waiting list, get them in services, and send them the message that getting their families taken care of is, in fact, more important than sending back money to folks that are really benefiting, really doing well under the Trump tax scheme. And so I hope it will be the pleasure of the body to vote no. There will be a red light on this motion to pass by this very good amendment.
Delegate from Lynchburg, Delegate Garrett.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Speaking briefly to the issue.
Motion. Delegate has the floor.
To the motion, yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just remind the body that in the current biennial budget that's already before us, we already added an additional 1,695 slots in all three of the waiver entities, as well as some, I think 50 of those are reserve slots as well. That's the most slots that I can recall that we've had in a biennial budget in the years that I've been here. And so I think we will continue to work with those efforts as we're going forward. And I appreciate the Speaker and the Chairman's leadership over the years that I've been here, actually advocating for each and every one of those waiver slots, sir. Thank you. I move adoption of the,
Shall the amendment be passed by? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. No. The amendment is passed by. Ayes and nays are called for. Shall the amendment be passed by? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 51, noes 48.
Ayes 51, noes 48. The amendment is passed by.